All right, now we're going to talk about placement. Placement's a fun one because that's basically where you have a job and you just get. Um, it's where you you work for somebody and um, you will be able to get a paycheck and you'll be able to get your loan start. The crap, did I put that? No, it's not what I wanted. Hi, here's what I wanted. All right. Placement is where you can have a job experience. It involves a paycheck or journal entries if unpaid. So, like, say if you were job shadowing somebody, that's a placement. That would be where you'd be unpaid, or you had an unpaid internship, which kind of sucks, but that's how it works. Um, Unpaid, if you were doing things unpaid, it would kind of be like when you did exploratory. You would enter journal entries, and for you to be able to get your Lone Star Award, you would need 300 journal entries or 300 hours with all those journal entries of things that you've done with that job. So, like, say you were job shadowing a vet and you weren't getting paid. On today's date, you would put in your journal entry. Worked with the vet in the operating room, and that was an hour. So you would get an hour, and all those add up. And when you have 300 hours, then you would be able to take those 300 hours and transfer that into the money needed for a Lone Star. But today we're going to work with Tyler's placement SAE, and he gets paid for what he does. So it's going to make it a lot easier. Um, so let's look at that. This is me just showing you recordings of an unpaid placement. If you do things at the school, a business, anything like that, like I explained, you have to do journal entries. Now, we're going to go to Tyler's profile real quick. Develop your AET experience. We're looking at his placement, which is Triple J and Carpenters right here. One of the things when having a placement, you have to have a SAE plan. All right. In the SAE plan, you're going to have a description of it, the name of the project, when you started your date of your employment, the hiring process, whether he called you up and said, hey, man, I'm going to need someone for the next couple of weeks or whatever it is. Talk about how you went through that hiring process, what he projected to pay you. And if it ended up being like an unpaid situation, describe that agreement that you had. Talk about how this project relates to your career interest. Again, Tyler has talked about being in ag sales or in ag business, and he really likes cattle. So he would talk about that as he relates that project to his interest. And then also tell why you chose this project. One reason they ask you to do this is especially for Lone Star applicants is because they want to know if you really put this kind of thought into it. If it was easy to get a Lone Star, everyone would do it. It's the actual sitting down and doing the paperwork part that's the hard stuff. So that's why they want to know the description. Time invested. Remember, after every time you do something, please hit save. So your time invested for a placement would be like your work schedule, your supervision of your project by either your parent or me or Mr. Abney. Other related information about you being supervised, or do you supervise somebody? That would be something to put in there. Again, hit save. Learning projects. Or learning objectives, sorry. Okay, so what you plan to accomplish from this SAE, like what do you want to learn? How is it going to affect you? How did it affect your career choice? How did your career choice benefit from it? How did this plan? How could this placement SAE affect your future plans? Was it a good? Was it a bad thing? Just tell those learning objectives. And again, hit save. Now, once all that is done and it's compiled, when you go to do your your Lone Star, you'll hit PDF report, okay? And it'll pop up, okay, like so. Okay, this is your SAE agreement. This is important to have because if you don't have this in your Lone Star application and you don't have it signed by your parent and your teacher and your supervisor, you will not get your Lone Star. So that's why this is important for you to fill it out. I didn't include that in my other video over exploratory and supplemental, but those are things that you need to have. Now, all right, like I said, Tyler's, he's paid. So he doesn't have to worry about anything but entering his paychecks. So that's easy to do. So you go right here. See, we were at profile. We're at develop your AET experience. Okay. Now we want to enter stuff in for his placement. So I'll hit finances. Enter your paycheck. So say Tyler began this job. I know he's had it. Oops. Crapola. I knew he had it all year. I don't know how long all year, but let's just say he started on a Monday, August 2nd. All right. September 2nd. I'm crazy. I'm sorry. All right. So Triple J and Carpenters, that's his placement experience that this paycheck's going to be applied to. So gross income, total income before taxes and other deductions. All right. So we'll put, he made $300. And then deductions related to required purchases do not include taxes. Okay? So you would take all your deductions, okay, and you would put them there. And if you look at your check, I wish I had like a camera I could show you a check stub right now. But if you look at your check, you can actually count up how much deductions that you have in whatever. And say like I'm just going to put a number in. So deductions was $100, okay? And enter the number of hours paid by this check, okay? So say he worked, I don't know, what button did I hit? Say he worked 15 hours. Oh, wow, we're going to make it more. 30 hours, okay? All right. Any special notes he wants to put in, he could say ran a tractor most of the time. Yeah, or he can put anything else. He put in vaccinated calves, broke a calf, halter broke a calf, any of that in the description that he wants to put. And so all you would do, save. Save. All right. So, like I said, this is what he's been paid for, what he hasn't been paid for, okay? So, in his paid work, he was $300. But in his deductions, it was $100 in deduction, remember? I just put in a number. Now, his placement income, this is his transaction list. So anytime he wants to put a new placement income, he would just put this. And that's what he'll just keep doing for his placement. He'll just put all his paychecks in. All right? That's all he'll have to do. So again, that's the finance tab. Enter your paychecks. And that is all you need to do for a placement that is paid. If you have a placement that you're unpaid, I suggest you go to the exploratory SAE portion of iTunes U, and I have just went over how to do that in the exploratory, and watch that video, and it will help you with doing your unpaid hours. All right, I hope this helps you.